And with regards to this stage of the application, there's these pools, the summer pool and August Reconsideration Pool, and these are different to the winter pool, which we've already done a podcast on. Going through each of the pools one at a time, can you explain to us what is the summer pool?
Yeah, so the summer pool is similar to the winter pool in that it gives us the chance to redistribute applicants, well, offer holders, really. These are people who have all received offers already. If it's not possible to confirm their offer at a particular college.
Hello everyone, welcome to Cambridge from the Inside. We're here with a returning guest.
I'm Marcus Tomalin. I'm the Director of Admissions here at Trinity Hall.
Nice. So we're here to talk about the summer pool and the August Reconsideration Pool. Students would be finding out their offer if they've their A-level results this week, and we're going to be talking about if you've missed your offer, what happens next. So to start off, Marcus, if I'm an applicant and I've got my results and I've missed my offer, what should I do next?
I would say the most important thing to do is to contact the college that's been assessing your application and the college that has made you the offer. I would suggest not telephoning them, just because the crucial people involved in these kind of stages of the process are often really busy when the school exam results are sort of made available. But do email them, because then they can deal with the email when they've got a spare minute or two. Whereas if you phone them, you'll be interrupting them and sort of distracting them from some other crucial task. And I think the most important thing really is to let the college know how much you've missed your offer by. So in other words, if you're taking A-levels, you might have just missed an A star in a particular subject by 1 mark. That's the kind of level of detail that the colleges will want, because unless you send them that information, all they'll know is the kind of cruder, higher level stuff. They'll know that you got, I don't know, an A star, an A and a B, and you were supposed to get, your offer was for, say, on the science side, 2 A stars and an A. So they'll know at a high level that you've missed it, but they won't know that finer grained level of detail, whether you've missed by 1 mark or 2 marks or 4 marks or whatever. So basically, email your college with those crucial pieces of information as soon as possible, really, because it's worth saying that when the school exam results are available, everything happens quite quickly at the university level. Then we have to sort of make decisions really quite rapidly, and we can talk a little bit more in this podcast about the sorts of decisions that we have to make. But we don't have 3 or 4 weeks to kind of deliberate and sort of think about this. We have a very short period of time, basically about 24 hours, really, to get the bulk of it done. So time is of the essence. So even if you're away on holiday, we know it comes at the worst time of year for a lot of people because they might be on holiday and stuff. It's worth still checking, to make sure you have that information about your school exam results, and sending it to your college, even if that means, not going on a boat trip or something that your family's doing. Stay in the hotel, send the email, and then join them, an hour or so later. That would be my advice.
Nice. And it shows that if you were to email, because members of staff are working so rapidly, they will come to your email
absolutely.
very soon.
Absolutely.
So don't feel the pressure to make a phone call. And with regards to this stage of the application, there's these pools, the summer pool and August Reconsideration Pool, and these are different to the winter pool, which we've already done a podcast on. Going through each of the pools one at a time, can you explain to us what is the summer pool?
Yeah, so the summer pool is similar to the winter pool in that it gives us the chance to redistribute applicants, well, offer holders, really. These are people who have all received offers already. If it's not possible to confirm their offer at a particular college. So if any offer holder meets their offer conditions, so their school exam results enable them to meet those offer conditions, then their place is automatically confirmed. There's no ambiguity about that. If someone just misses their offer, then there's a chance they might be placed in the summer pool. And if they're in the summer pool, there's a chance they might receive an offer from a different college. Okay. And the sorts of people who end up in the summer pool, on the whole, it's people perhaps who received what we sometimes call a raised offer. So at Cambridge, unlike other universities really, the colleges are able to modify the offers they make a little bit if they feel that that's appropriate. So while there is a sense of a standard offer, a given college might make an offer that's slightly more stringent, that's slightly higher. So for instance, on the science side, the standard offer would be 2 A stars and an A. But it may well be that a particular college requests one of the A stars in a particular subject. So they might say, your offer is 2 A stars and an A, but one of the A stars has to be in further maths, just to take an example. Then it may well be that that offer holder obtains 2 A stars and an A, but if the A is in further maths, then they'll have missed their offer for that college. So because they've missed their offer, but because they've met the standard conditional offer, that's the kind of person who might be placed in the summer pool. And that's the kind of person who might receive an offer from another college, different to the one that they received their original offer from.
So if you're put in the summer pool, is there no chance for the college you had applied to pick you out from the summer pool?
No, they can do that. So similar to the winter pool, it's possible for a college to place an offer holder in the summer pool with a tag. That's how we usually refer to it. And so they can compare and contrast the other people who are in the summer pool. And if they feel actually the person we made an offer to originally seems to be one of the strongest in the summer pool, then they can take them back before any other college has a chance to. So that mechanism does exist,
Okay, nice. And so you were talking about students who might have received a raised offer and their grades missed that raised offer but meets the standard offer that the university advertises and might subsequently put in the summer pool. What if a student misses the standard offer? So if a science subject is 2 A stars and an A and they got A star AA, would that student be put in the summer pool?
It's possible that they would be. That's why it's so important for the offer holders who have just missed their offers to send us the fine-grained information about how much they've missed by. Because if someone has missed the standard offer by just 1 mark in one subject, then there's a chance that they would be placed in the summer pool. On the whole, the offers that are made from the summer pool tend to go to people who have met the standard offer, even if they missed the raised offer that their original college set for them. So the people who have missed the standard offer, even if it's by 1 mark or 2 marks here and there, they're less likely to receive offers from the summer pool, but some of them do. Some of them do every year. So again, from the applicants or from the offer holder's point of view, just make sure we have all that information so that if we feel that you were near enough to meeting your offer that it's worth other colleges being able to consider you, then we'll make sure we put you in the pool so that you're available for that kind of consideration.
Nice. And so I think from what I remember, it's the 1 in 4 chance of being picked out from the winter pool in January. Am I right in thinking that percentage is smaller for the chances of being picked out from the summer pool?
Yeah, it is smaller than that. I can't remember off the top of my head what the exact percentage is, but it's certainly the case that fewer people receive offers from the summer pool than they do in the winter pool. The winter pool is really quite a vast operation. The summer pool, it's a smaller set of applicants that are in consideration at that stage.
Yeah, so not to be the bearer of bad news, but I think it'd be right for people to view as, if they're to miss their offer, that there is a chance that they'll be picked out and accepted to Cambridge, but the odds are more likely that the application will come to an end.
Yeah, there's a chance to be picked up, but I would say on the whole, it's quite a slim chance.
Yeah. And there's another pool, the August Reconsideration Pool, which there's a vast amount of information on this on the Cambridge University website. Would you be able to explain what the ARP is?
Yeah, so the August Reconsideration Pool, it's a slightly different kind of pool, because the people who are available for consideration in that pool are not people who received offers, after the main part of the admissions round. So when we announce our decisions in January, these are people who maybe were rejected at that stage, but they're people who have gone on to meet the standard conditional offer that the university sets, whether it's for arts or sciences or whatever. And in addition, they meet certain criteria. And these criteria are the things that enable them to be available for consideration in this special pool in the summer, the August Reconsideration Pool. We'll put a link in the description, I think, that gives all the details about these criteria, because it's a little bit intricate. But I can say something about it just to give a sense of it. So the first sort of criterion is that the individual, the applicant, has to have certain contextual flags, as we call them. And contextual flags are just the things that give us a bit of an insight into their socioeconomic and educational background. So there are 7 of these contextual flags, and the people who are available for consideration in the August Reconsideration Pool have to have 3 of them. And they're things like whether the applicant's been on free school meals. That would be one of the contextual flags. There's something that we use that's called IMD, or indices of multiple deprivation. That just gives a sort of insight into the sort of socioeconomic context in which that applicant has been sort of living and studying. So that there are a range of things like that. There are 7 in total, and if applicants have any 3 of those, then that means that they would meet one of the criteria for being available for the August Reconsideration Pool. The other 2, just to mention them briefly, because they're a little bit less complex. One is if the applicant has been in care, basically, and the other is if the applicant has refugee status. Yep. So those would be the sorts of things that might enable someone to be available for reconsideration in August. I should say that it doesn't just automatically happen that applicants who meet those criteria are automatically available for reconsideration by Cambridge. They have to consent to that. We can't just sort of consider them behind their backs. So usually when people receive the letter in January from the college that's assessed them, they're told if they are eligible for reconsideration in this ARP, this August Reconsideration Pool in the summer. But then when it gets to that point in the year, they have to say that they're willing to be considered in that pool. And it's never the case that everyone does. By that point, some of the applicants have accepted an offer from another university. They've got their heart set on it, so they choose to stick to that, which is absolutely completely fine. But yes, people should know whether they are eligible for this pool. They should have been told that.
Yeah. So I think that's a key point for anyone who's listening. With regards to the August Reconsideration Pool, everyone who is in that pool would have already known since January.
Yep.
Yeah. And so most people listening, if you haven't been told that you're in the August Reconsideration Pool and you've missed your offer, do students know if they've been put into the summer pool?
So yes, because basically the summer pool usually happens the day after all the school exam results become available. And so, if someone's been placed in the summer pool, they won't have been officially rejected through UCAS.
Okay.
So they should know. And then, of course, they'll know the outcome based on the communications that happen after the summer pool.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So with regards to how the pools work and what it looks like from your side, from the admissions side, what does it look like from your side when the decisions are made, and are both of these pools happening at the same time or at different times?
Yeah, these days they kind of happen at the same time. A few years ago they happened at different times, but that was changed to sort of combine them just because it was more efficient, really. Yeah. So from my perspective as a director of admissions, or an admissions tutor, if you like, all of this happens online. So we have a kind of online platform that enables us to see the relevant paperwork for all the people who are either in the summer pool or in the August Reconsideration Pool. And by all the paperwork, I mean the original UCAS application that they made, their personal statement, their performance in any admissions assessments, all the things that we've discussed in various other podcasts. I have access to all of that. So if, say, at my college here at Trinity Hall, if, say, for a particular subject, maybe we made, I don't know, let's say 7 offers for a subject like history, and let's say in a given year 4 people did not meet their offer conditions, then we may well look in the summer pools to try and increase the number of students that we have in the intake for history, just to take that as an example. And that would involve me and the directors of studies looking at the paperwork really, really closely and carefully, coming up with usually a sort of rank ordered list of people in the summer pools for history, just to take this example that we're particularly interested in. And then there's a sort of centralized meeting when decisions are made about all the people who are in the summer pool. And it's at that point that we'd say, well, if we'd like to make an offer to this person, and then we'd be allowed to make an offer to them at that meeting, and then that offer would be subsequently confirmed. So yeah, it all happens online. It involves a lot of paperwork being read carefully, but also quite swiftly in a very short space of time, because the pools all happen on one day from sort of 9 o'clock until about 5 o'clock. So it's fairly frantic, but we try and do it as carefully as we can as well, obviously, because it's really important.
Yeah. And there's admissions tutors in each of the colleges reading all the relevant applicants' information.
And often directors of studies as well. They're often involved just because they're the ones who are going to be guiding these students through the course. So they often want to be convinced that, the offers are going to people who will really thrive here.
So they're the directors of studies, are the academics who are teaching in each of the subjects.
Exactly.
And they're also reading the applicants' information. And so when are all the decisions made for people watching and want to know, when will they definitely know their outcome? So
the summer pools normally take place the day after the school exam results are made available. So traditionally the school exam results are available on the Thursday. And so then the summer pools both happen on the Friday. So usually at some point on the Friday, that's when the decisions are all confirmed.
So unless you were in an anomalous situation, everyone should know by the weekend. Usually,
yeah.
Okay, I think that's everything. Unless there was anything else you think you need to add.
No, I think it's a bit like the winter pool, really, in that I find whenever I sort of summarize it, it sounds really complex.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I guess for people like me, it is, because it involves processing a lot of information, as I say, quite quickly. I think from the offer holder's point of view, the most important thing is the point that I made at the start, making sure that the college that made you the offer and has been working with you and assessing your application throughout, make sure they have all the information that they need. It can be really frustrating for us if somebody has missed their offer, but we don't find out until after the summer pools have happened that they only missed it by, say, 1 mark or something. That can just be really frustrating, because maybe we would have decided to place them in the pool, but if we don't find out that information, for a week or so, then the pool will have happened, and so they'll just not be available for consideration during it. The only other thing I think it might be worth mentioning concerns remarks.
Okay.
So when people obviously have just missed their offers, they might request a remark for a particular subject. If people obtain successful remarks, and if as a result of that they meet their offer, then we are happy to confirm those offers. So in other words, we recognize that at the school exam level, there are sometimes errors that are made in the examining, and so someone might receive marks that are lower than the marks they should have received. And if that is dealt with via a successful remark, then we're very happy to confirm the offer. So again, it's crucial to keep us informed about that. So if offer holders know that they're going to seek a remark for a particular subject because they feel that the mark they got doesn't reflect what they were capable of and what they feel they achieved in that exam, do let us know about that as well. It's very useful for us to know if someone is seeking a remark in a particular subject.
And if you were to, you might have said this, but if you were to apply for a remark and it was approved and then you now met your offer, then you're in.
Yes. Yeah. And the only sort of complexity around that is if the remark, it's been better in recent years. A few years ago, it was sometimes the case that remarks weren't confirmed, so in other words, people didn't know whether they'd been successful or not until quite a long time later. And obviously our terms, in our first term of the year, the Michaelmas term, starts in October. So if someone doesn't get a successful remark until, I don't know, mid-September or late September, we will already have sort of confirmed a lot of the details about the incoming students, which rooms they're going to be in and things like that. So it may be that if the remark doesn't come in until a relatively late stage, it may be that we still honor the offer, but we might ask them to defer just because we haven't got any rooms left in college for them. That doesn't happen very often, and it's not something to stress about. And as I say, in recent years, the remarks have tended to come through more quickly, which is good. So it should be fine. But that's just worth mentioning. If the remark doesn't come through until like anomalously later, there's a risk that the person may be asked to defer and then take up their place the following year.
Yeah. And lastly, just to reiterate why the pools exist, I assume like the summer pool and the August Reconsideration Pool is there for all to optimize the students with the most potential to be picked. I assume that's the reason behind it.
Absolutely, yeah. So the summer pool, as I say, is quite like the winter pool. It's a sort of redistribution mechanism. The August Reconsideration Pool is slightly different. It's not really a redistribution mechanism, but it's a chance for us to consider again applicants whom we perhaps rejected in January, but they've subsequently shown us that they have real potential to do very well academically. So it gives us the opportunity, at least, to give them a second chance if they would like us to give them a second chance. As I say, they have to consent to all of this. So the two pools serve slightly different purposes, but it is about us trying to ensure that the offers go to the most deserving applicants.
Yeah. And with regards to August Reconsideration Pool, I can imagine some people reading the eligibility criteria and thinking that they're asking why is it that only students who fit these criteria coming from a disadvantaged background one way or another, why is it that they're considered for the ARP but not everyone else? I was wondering if you had a response for that.
So the August Reconsideration Pool was explicitly set up to try to help the university with its widening participation sort of program, I guess. And so we just know that some of the students who maybe aren't successful in the main part of the admissions rounds, and when we're doing all the interviews and everything in December and January, they're often from disadvantaged backgrounds. They've often had to deal with very difficult circumstances, either educational or personal, while they've been growing up. And we just know that those may be factors why they're just edged out in January. But then if they subsequently go on to achieve just superb school exam results, they get 3 A stars or whatever, it seems appropriate to give them another opportunity if they would like us to do that. So the August Reconsideration Pool is kind of explicitly and overtly a widening participation initiative.
Yeah.
And that's not the case for the summer pool.
Yeah.
So the summer pool, that's not restricted to certain applicants with certain contextual flags. Anyone from any type of school background can end up in the summer pool for redistribution.
Yeah. And I guess I'm right in thinking if a student is disadvantaged in one of the criteria that makes you eligible for the ARP and you subsequently meet the grade requirements for your subject at Cambridge, it shows that student has a lot of has potential.
Yep, absolutely,
and that's
absolutely.
The thinking behind them getting an
Yep.
offer. Well, that's everything. Thank you, Marcus. We hope that students aren't finding this too stressful, and hopefully everything will be. They'll find out everything by the end of this week. We're hoping to do more podcasts for the next admissions round and for the remaining subjects that we haven't done yet. So have a look out for those when they come out, and we'll see you guys next time.